Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello and welcome to Backchannel, which is the only place that you can listen to, watch, and chat with hosts of live shows here on your Amazon Echo. And I think we are in a few more places at the moment, aren't we? So you
Yeah,
can
that's
watch us now on YouTube. The YouTube, I've just gone to it. Is it Backchannel Live or is it backchannel.tv?
the Twitter is Backchannel Live. The
Twitter is
YouTube is just
Backchannel Live.
Backchannel.
So,
Just
hello and
Backchannel.
welcome if you are watching or listening on Twitter or on YouTube. And you can now get involved in the chat. So, the really special thing about Backchannel, I'm Kate, by the way, and that's Will, with the unofficial Kate and Will from the UK. So, the really exciting thing about Backchannel is that you can take part in the program, in the show with us in the chat. And I want you to get involved in the chat. And you can do that by talking directly to your Amazon Echo. So, all you have to do is give the usual word that you give to instruct your Amazon device, like ha ha ha, like that, in that tone.
Just like
use
that.
the word
Uncanny.
use the word say and then put your message afterwards. So if you wanted to say hello, you say you would give your instruction, the word say, and then hello Kate, like that. Hello Kate and Will. So yeah, if you are on an Amazon Echo show, then go ahead and do that. If you are not on an Amazon Echo show, you can now enter the chat by leaving messages at backchannel.tv. Gosh, that's a lot of information there for you. But the whole point of this show is that you are part of it. And, Will and I are here to help you start your day with a real bit of positivity. I host a podcast called Everyday Positivity. It wouldn't happen if Will didn't press all the buttons for me. And the idea is that it's to remind you to feel good about yourself every day. It reminds you to be kind to yourself every day. How often do you find yourself beating yourself up? Huh?
Quite a
Loads.
lot.
Quite a lot. So the idea is as a reminder, because I think I need reminding all the time. So I thought if I need reminding all the time, loads of people do. So the idea is to kind of put you into a positive mindset every single day. And we'll be playing an episode of that for you in a short little bit as well.
Today's
So,
episode, in fact.
pardon?
Today's episode, in fact.
Today's episode, in fact.
Because
Uh,
every day positivity.
I know, Monday to Sunday. People say
Yeah.
to me, "Do you mean Monday to Sunday?" I'm like, "It is every
Every
day."
single
As
day.
as if the need for positivity dies off at the weekend.
Yeah.
We need it every single day. So, that's what we're here to do today. So hopefully I can leave you, or Will and I can leave you with some joy in your day to take you into your day. Now, as we all hurtle through life, as you find yourself looking at your day and thinking, "Oh, I've got so much to do," should we just take a minute, Will?
Sure, I could do with a minute.
Okay.
Let's take a
Right. So
minute.
we're just going to do some breathing. It's 8 breaths. This is the 8 breaths of chill, tranquility, whatever it is that you want to do. So, what to call it? So, get yourself level. If you stood up, just stand with your feet flat on the floor. Just take a moment to be still. And if you want to close your eyes, you can. And I just want you to take a few, like 2 or 3 breaths, just to get yourself into the zone. Because we get all pent up like this and we don't realize that we're breathing into our shoulders. I want you to breathe right into your belly. So get yourself relaxed. Let those shoulders drop. I went on a course recently and they said, imagine that you've got weights on the bottom of your shoulder blades hanging down. So it pulls your shoulders down. Right, from here, I just want you to take 8 deep breaths, counting in for 4 and out for 4 at least, but in your time. So I'm going to go. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. 6. 7. Just thinking about that release and that calm and that tranquility. Are you with me? Are you back?
I'm back.
You're back. How does
Feels
that
good.
make you feel when you do that?
It's just there's something about it that's just so relaxing. It makes you just, I say it every time, but it just makes me feel a bit grounded,
Yeah. And, that thing of when you're moving through the day at a pace. I don't know if are your days like this? I mean, I get up and I feel like I'm a coiled spring.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up and then I go. And it's like ba 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 ba
Like
ba
one
ba
of
ba ba
those,
ba ba
those
ba ba
toy
ba ba.
cars that you pull them back and then you
Yes,
let them
that's
go and they
me.
pshoo!
Yeah. And what happens is we just get overstimulated every single day because of all this stuff going on. So those 8 breaths, I mean, I do them now and I love doing them now because it means I do them too. So that is really good. Um, so I wanted to
Let's
talk about a couple of things. Oh, I've got people joining in. Hello, Sunny. So there are people in the chat. So this is what happens when you talk to me and Will through your Amazon Echo show, then you can take part in the program. So Sunny says, "Good morning from Indiana. Really lovely to have you with us, Sunny. I have a coffee cup that says you've got this, and I think of Kate every time I use it." That's because on every single episode, or at least on most episodes, I try and say, "You have 100% got this. You have 100% got this." And Kyle says hi. Hi, Kyle. Nice to have you on board as well. This idea of you've got this. Do you know what? Today I was talking to our designer about making some mugs.
I
So
think it's
and that is
been
actually what's gonna go on to the mugs is the you've got
absolutely.
this. Yeah, well, you have 100% got this, I think is what I'm gonna say. So I'm hoping that we'll have some mugs by next week to get going and in the Facebook
I
group.
think it's been it's people have been asking for mugs for a long
People have
time.
been asking for mugs for such a long time, Will, and we've just not got it done. So we're gonna get it done.
Let's get it done.
Hey, Kristen! So let's talk about this back channel situation, which is that obviously it's a very clever piece of technology, but it is technology. It's not a human, so it sometimes mishears your name. So I love it. We had Tennille on the other week, and she was like, "It's calling me Danny, so I'm going with Danny."
Just gonna
But
roll with
Kristen
it.
just said it's Kristen, but it's calling you Kyle. So hi, Kristen. Lovely, lovely, lovely to have you on board. I confused Kristen yesterday in the Facebook group because I said to her, I think I said in the episode yesterday, it sounded like I was going to be on yesterday, or we were going to be on yesterday.
Uh,
And Chris is like, "I'm getting ready to be on." I was like, "No, we're not. Tomorrow." So I'm really thrilled that you've made it here. Well done. Thank you very much.
When are we on, Kate? When can people find us on Backchannel?
When can people find us on Backchannel? Tuesdays. I have to think then. Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's 9 a.m. Eastern time, just for an hour.
Yes.
Yeah, momentarily confused, but figured it out. And Sunny's saying hi to Kristen. So we've got it all going on. Excellent. And yes, please do enjoy expanding your mug collection.
Can't have too many
So,
mugs. People love mugs.
I know. I love it. I love it. Everyone loves a mug. I think I want to do aprons as well.
I love an apron. I don't wear an apron, even though I should do, because I'm a very messy cook.
I want to talk to you about cooking today because I've been going through my birthday and Christmas list. It's been a very joyous morning. Okay, so here's the first question for you. First question for you in the chat on the stream. When does happy happen? When does happy really happen for you? I want to know. All you have to do to take part is at device name, and then you use the word say, and then when does happy happen, please? When does happy happen for you? Because I know for Will that happy happens when you're cooking.
That's right. So I would say to my device, I would say, mna, mna, say, happy happens for me when I'm cooking. That's what I would.
Is
That's what I would do.
Mnemona the name that you're
Mna,
using?
mna. Yeah,
If I say her name, it's going to cause
a
chaos across the
worldwide
land.
pandemonium.
Chaos, I'm telling you. So tell me about cooking, Will.
It's just for pretty much for as long as I can remember, I've always been into, like, when I first started out, I was really into baking. But then I think I went to uni and I had to start like fending for myself, and then I fell in love with like proper cooking, and it's just like I always say that it's almost like meditation, because
Yes.
whenever I'm cooking, even if it's not something very complicated, I'm not thinking about what's going on at work. I'm not thinking
Yeah.
about any kind of troubles or anything that I'm, ruminating on. I'm just focusing on what I'm doing. I've usually got music on at the same time. And it's just really, yeah, it's almost like meditation.
So there's something that I found. This is what I'm flicking through a magazine because I found out about it. But there's an artist called Loyal Kana, a rapper from the UK. It's a great publication called Positive News. And in this, he basically has I'm guessing it's like a charity or a foundation where they do cooking classes. It started over lockdown and do cooking classes for young people. And the idea being that cooking is a form of meditation. Okay. So it's a form of mindfulness and it can really help with anxiety. It can really help with low self-esteem, mainly because what happens is you then, you make something, you create something, you can see it, you can taste it, you can see you've done something well. It's like a visual proof that you are a capable human
Hmm.
being.
Hmm.
And
And
yeah, go on.
I was going to say last week on Thursday we talked about like crafting for good, and I always think
Yes.
about this in the same way, in that, okay, not only are you doing this kind of meditative act, but at the end of it as well, you've got something, delicious and nourishing and hot and delicious that you can like feed yourself with. And what's better than that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm getting joy out of my next joy. Like what happy happened for me this morning when I got the brochure out with all the pans in.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking
You were
about.
with me, I think, last time I got the brochure out
Yes.
with the pans in. We need a new frying pan, and it was just really exciting to go through and go, "Right, I'm gonna put that on my list, and put that
Hmm.
on my list, and put that on my list." So, yeah, so cookery stuff. And then the other time that happy happened around my kitchen was that moment after sort of coming out of lockdown and realizing I was using my big crocs again. I've got friends coming over in a few weeks'
Yes.
time. I'm gonna get the big crocs out, the big bowls that we put things in. My favorite thing about the cooking bit, I absolutely love. I'm with you. Baking as well. My daughter and I bake loads.
Yeah.
My favorite moment when you've got people round your table and everybody piles in on the food.
Yeah. Hmm.
Literally, one of my favorite things ever is seeing everyone's hands go oh 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 across the table. That's like reaching across the table.
When I
You've
did
got
Camp America in 2018, we had dinner. They call it family style, and it just means that there's like one big bowl in the middle that everybody dips into. And that was so nice to sit with people who you were like just getting to know, and you were literally sharing food with them. That was really nice.
really nice. So Kristen says that her happy happens when she's knitting. Will's in on that, aren't you?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Again, it's that focus.
Yeah.
So I think we talked about this last time, but just that, like, um, it never fails to amaze me that you can create a whole world with your focus. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So your focus is everything. Like I think we think that we should be going for happiness all the time, but actually it's about focus and attention, and whatever we put our attention into we get is where we make the most progress. And so that switching off of attention and focusing in on one thing means that we end up um, we end up in a good place because when we focus our attention on the things that we love and we focus our attention in this place where we get flow and we meditate, and then no one can get us on that island, can they? So
No, it's nice.
I don't know what to do at this point because someone was knocking on my door then.
You can go and answer if you want. I'm gonna read from the chat.
So there's loads in the chat, which is great. Yeah, do you want to talk about cats? I've got cat chat in a
Yeah.
minute. Hang on, let me go
Cat's
get it.
always got cat
Let me go get
chat.
it. Let me go. Let me go.
Oh my goodness, this is the first time I've been left alone. You can see Kate's half painted wall behind her little captain's chair. It's good. I've signed that chair. It's ace. What else happened? So Sunny said, happy happens when my kitty cat snuggles up for some cuddles time. She likes to do this thing where she crawls up on my chest and just flops, in all caps, her furry back on my face. It's cute. I am sadly cat free at the moment because I live in a rental property and pets aren't allowed. But I had a friend who has a cat, and I met the cat for the first time earlier in the year, and we bonded. Apparently, you're supposed to like blink slowly at them, and that's how you say hello in cats. Um, So that was something I knew. And we just started. I've not seen the cat. The cat was called Monty. Not after Monty Burns, which from The Simpsons, which is what I thought it was. But it's called Monty, and we got to know each other quite well.
You got to see my half and half job. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Talk to me more. What's going on?
I was talking about.
Honest.
I was talking about how slow blinking is apparently how you say hello to cats. It's like in cat talk, you have to blink slowly at them, and that's how you say hello.
Yeah. So you know when people don't like cats and the cats jump on them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's allergic to cats will know this, that the cat always seems to come to them in a room. And that's because cats don't like you to make direct eye contact. So you say hello to them by blinking, but you also kind of look away.
Look away.
Like
That
this,
just
and you
seems
see
very
they do
on
it.
brand for cats.
Yeah. And so if you don't like cats and you look away, then they go to you because they don't feel threatened. So, of course, that's why my dad's allergic, well, hates cats and is allergic to them. And regularly would be like, and then they end up sitting on him. Stare them out. And then
they
won't come
eventually fall in love with cats.
And then do you know the other one is that when they're happy to see you, do you know what they do?
What do they do?
The tail goes up and kinks like that.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got these great, like when they do this, they come at you with their tail like that. You're like, oh, hi. My cat can't meow. She kind of just goes like that.
Just
really sweet. But apparently, like we got her as their rescue cat. But apparently, like she was a cat. She wasn't a kitten when we got her. But apparently, someone said to me once that meant that the cat had been taken. She'd been taken away from her mum too young, which is why she hadn't formed her meow yet.
Stop that.
I know, it's so sad.
Your cat's very cute. Pepper, your cat?
Yeah, lovely Pepper. So yeah, it's. Sunny says she likes to see this thing where she crawls up on my chest and just flops her furry back on my face. I've got a client who I'm on a call with from time to time, and she, her cat will come and sit on her lap and then do this, start putting its paw on her face.
As if to say,
It's like,
don't
hello,
pay attention to me.
I love you, like that. So cute. And Taylor Swift is always on about her cats, isn't she? Taylor Swift is big in our house at the moment because she released Red yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yes.
No, at the weekend. And my daughter this morning, as she got ready for school, I could hear the 10-minute version of. Which one is it?
Yeah, but can't remember.
Oh no, it's not about Jake Gyllenhaal, or people say it's about Jake Gyllenhaal. But it's a 10-minute version, and it's just on loop in her house, in her room. Sorry, she absolutely loves it. Anyway, we've digressed somewhat.
No, us?
Kitty chirps, yeah,
Kitty
Sunny, that's what we've got. That's what we've got. Kitty chirps and the little hand, little paw. So you can tell with the chat and with the stream, there is a slight. It comes through really quickly, right? But I think we must be getting it a little bit slower because I feel like we're talking about stuff and then I see it. So
maybe. It's called All Too Well. Is the 10-minute version?
All Too Well. There we go.
Fact checked.
I mean, it feels like the universe is returning to normal slightly when you see. Where was Adele this weekend?
Oh, she was at the Griffith Observatory in California, Los Angeles, and or on the Oprah show.
She did both. So it was a CBS special, wasn't it? So she did both. They did the whole audience with Adele. Mm-hmm. That couple got proposed. Which I couldn't work out. I was like, how did you watch it?
No, I haven't seen it. I only know the highlights, but I heard about.
So they're at the Griffith Observatory, right? Audience is there, quite a big audience, not small.
It's because Adele.
Adele in a beaut of a dress, nice big puffball thing, art sleeves.
It's okay. We know what you mean. You got this.
Fishtail dress, gorgeous, just gorgeous. And she's like, right, everybody, stop talking. Just
that's what she sounds like.
So right, everyone, stop talking. This next thing's gonna happen. Anyway, so this guy brings this woman on. She's got a blindfold on, and I'm like, she's got headphones on as well. I was like, I don't understand quite what's happening here. I don't know how he's got her there, and she's not got any idea what's going on.
She's not twigged what's happening.
Yeah, like she must have. That means, I mean, unless she's been kept locked away in a room for hours and hours and hours on end, you know. because it wasn't like at the beginning of the concert.
It was like halfway through.
Yeah, and it wasn't like you wouldn't have known what was going on if you'd gone to the Griffith Observatory. It was just one of those where, when you're watching something and your brain starts ruining it by going, "Oh, I wonder where he
If I
kept
think
it
about the
beforehand.
logistics,
What are the logistics here?
that's
How
your
did
inner
this work?"
producer, Kate. That's your inner producer coming out
Yeah.
and ruining it for you.
And then it was completely pitch black, so she didn't know what was going on, and he was going. He got on his knees and he said this beautiful thing. Everyone's crying. She's crying. And then all of a sudden, she says yes, and then the lights go up, and she goes, "Hello." Adele goes, "All right. Well, I don't know who I was going to. I'm so glad you said yes." She said, "Otherwise, I didn't know who I was going to be singing this for. Was it you? Was it?" And then sings like an angel,
Yeah, of course. That's so funny. The thing
it was
is,
just really lovely though. And I just, you watch that sort of thing, and again, logistics. I'm going, did he email? Did they pick it out?
did they
Where did the
just
idea
tweet
come
at
from?
Adele? Hi,
He was
Adele.
friends with one of the stage runners. Where's this come from? Because it was just lovely. It was one of those things that brought me joy, total joy.
It's very cute. And, if you're going to propose to me in front of people, one of them better be Adele.
I'm planning to propose to you in front of people.
Thank you. I would hope so. Could one of them be Adele, please?
Mhm.
Okay.
I was
It
just
doesn't
gonna
have to be in
call.
California. It can be in East London, if that's
Okay.
easier for you logistically.
Okay, thank you.
That's okay. No worries. Just to forewarn you, I'm probably going to say no.
Oh, okay.
So I just
what I'll do is I'll invite Adele and I'll say, look, he might say no, so just sing it to me.
so just in case.
Afterwards, yeah.
I am Adele. Adele.
You are Will Dell.
Yeah.
Or Dell. That reminds me of my grandparents-in-law. My husband's grandparents called their house Ordell because one of them was called Audrey and one of them was called Derek.
That's
house names. If you have a good house name, they're not the only person I've heard that. It's called Ordell because they were Audrey and Derek.
Okay. I feel like Audrey got the better end of the deal for that one.
Well, yeah, like Dell. Yeah, I guess. Ordell. Okay. So, shall we play today's episode? Should we do that first?
Oh, yeah.
Good idea, isn't it?
Do you want to say anything about it?
Yes, I do. So this has been born out of, let's put this here. This has been born out of watching lots of Netflix at the moment. And I just saw Kristen's notes come through. This is one thing to get used to, isn't it? Is when everyone's writing to you, you're trying to talk. Okay, so this was born out of basically a few weeks ago in the Facebook group. I was like, is anyone watching You? Because I feel like I'm the only one watching it at the moment. And then I was like, what do I watch next? And loads of people said, Maid. Watch Maid. M-A-I-D. So I watched Maid and it was lovely. I did that thing of, I'm very good at binging. Are you a good binger?
I'm a rubbish binger.
Are you?
Yeah,
I'm very
I can't.
good.
No.
So what you do, here's your trick, Bluetooth headphones. Well, while you're cooking. Tablet on the side or iPad on the side or whatever it is that you use.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And then you just cooking and when you're like, you can just lose yourself in it.
Because that's the thing, because I'm not good at sitting still for very long. Especially if it's like a 50-minute episode. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and also...
Although, sorry, at the weekend, on Friday night, I did watch 3 episodes of Squid Game back to back. Just saying.
There you go. Well, that can give you nightmares. So yeah, and also if you put the Bluetooth headphones in, it means you can walk around the kitchen and make loads of noise and it goes straight in your ears, which is amazing. There's loads of house name chat going on.
No, it's good.
There is. In the chat, there's loads of house name chat, which I'm going to come to. So I'm going to read it while we do the episode. Anyway, point is, it made me think something. So I made it into an episode and here you go. So this is your Everyday Positivity from the Volley Network. My name's Kate Cocker. Now, we've all got a favourite TV programme. I'm sure that you have one on binge at the moment, whether it be Netflix or whatever it is that you're watching. And the one thing I love about a good drama is when you find yourself screaming at the television what you want the character to do. And I had that with my latest binge watch. I'm currently binging Maid on Netflix. No spoilers, I promise. This will not spoil it for you. The programme is about a woman who separates from her abusive partner, and it's the trials that she goes through to kind of get herself onto her own 2 feet. And it's deeply sad. I don't think there's one episode that I went through without getting a little bit of a tear in my eye. But the frustration that I had with the main character, a sympathetic frustration, shall we say, but all I wanted her to do was ask for help. She'd be talking to someone about housing and she would sort of stop mid-conversation and I'd think in my head, I'd be going, ask for help. Or she'd be seeing someone, a client for her cleaning job, and the client would say something and all I could think was, ask for help, just ask for help. And I really found myself shouting it at the television, ask for help. And I thought, gosh, it's so funny, isn't it, that when we're in the middle of things, sometimes when we can't see the wood for the trees, asking for help seems like the furthest thing away from what we're capable of, right? So this character is obviously very ashamed of her situation and finds it really difficult to ask for help, and it really resonated with me. And so I wanted to remind you that however bad it feels today, or however difficult your situation may be, just remember, it's okay to ask for help. Ask for help. Ask for help.
It's good.
When was
good
the last
advice.
time you actually asked for help?
A little while ago.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, when you think about it?
Yeah.
Is there anyone you expect help from?
I wouldn't say expects. I don't think there's anyone I expect help from. I think I know that if I ask like the team for support, they're there with work and stuff. Or I know I can, if I ask my friends for advice or my family for something, that I can call on them if need to be.
It's a really weird, in that program, it's a really weird thing because you can see why she doesn't want to ask for help. There's quite a lot of things that come with it. Sunny's saying, asking for help is hard. Please help me learn how to ask for help. And Kristen, I think you're saying that you ask your husband for help.
How do you ask for help, Kate? What do you do?
What do I do? I think so. There are a couple of things here. One is that I do work on the premise that if someone asked me, I would help them, right? And I think sometimes we get caught in I can't ask for help because they won't. I haven't talked to them for a bit, or I haven't given them anything for a bit, or it's one too many favors to ask, or you know what I mean. Like I think that's sometimes like on a practical terms. But Tim, my husband, often reminds me, if they reached out to you, you'd absolutely help them. Right? And so if you operate from that place, then it makes you a bit more comfortable saying ask for help. And then
because asking for help it's about being vulnerable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Quite often.
Making yourself vulnerable.
Yeah, quite often. And that vulnerability can often, I think in Maid, she's in a really awful situation. And I think sometimes when you're dealing with relationships, you're keeping things private in your relationship, aren't you? You're kind of wanting to make sure that, it's funny, isn't it? If you're struggling in a relationship, there comes a point at which you will ask someone for help. But at the same time, you kind of think, if I work this out myself, then what if other people think that my other half is bad or something? You know what I mean? It's like you're bringing them into it. Same with any kind of relationship, it can happen in lots of different ways. But I suppose the bit where I think we could all do better in general is allowing people around us to step up. So I don't think I categorically will go about asking for help as such, but I am quite good at going, I'm not going to do that because I know that someone else needs to fill that gap.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So it's like a delegation thing. So as a leader, like a boss, essentially, it's about letting people do things for you. I think that's something that, people think, oh, I'll save them the trouble, but actually you can empower people by letting them do things for them.
Yes. Sometimes you're not really helping anybody by like doing it for them.
Exactly. You're almost enabling the wrong kind of behavior by doing things for them. And I do it all the time. Like I will openly say, I'm a real people pleaser, especially when it comes to my clients. I want to make sure they're fine. And I feel like sometimes I overstep the mark in terms of I've done everything for them, and they, actually it's better if they can do some stuff themselves. And that's in like a production term, podcasting production terms. But with my kids, for example, like last 2 weekends ago, so my husband works away quite a lot. He goes through phases of working away. So he will be away for a whole weekend. He works in London most of the week, so he's away out of the house. And at the weekend, 2 weekends ago, I used to have a cleaner, don't have a cleaner anymore. And I sat with the kids in the car. We were driving to a rugby game for Louis. And I said, right, like, I'm really happy to pay you, but I need help. I can't run this house on my own and run a business and do the things that we need to do. We are a team and I need help. And so I then got them to write down the tasks and I got them to write down the jobs that they would like to do. And I got them to say when they were going to do it. And that has so far, so good, been successful. And again, that's that empowering thing. And, they're 12 and 13 and they can cook tea and dinner, and they can clean the bathrooms and they do it quite willingly, which is weird because when I was that age, I never did anything willingly.
Yeah. And that's
But I
such
do
a
think
good.
that's because I gave them the ownership and it's like I've asked for help, but got them to step up, if that makes sense.
And
So,
all of those are such good skills. These things, being able to do these things at their age is what makes you a rounded adult when you get to
yeah.
my age. Because there are people my age who don't know how to do those things. So
And they'll learn, they'll have to.
yeah.
But also, like, my daughter is incredibly independent as a result, and her friends ask her to do things for them all the time. When we were away, she came out with the best line. She went, like, her and her friend were gonna go, and order, some food for lunch, and her friend turned to her and went, "Oh, Connie, can you do it?" And Connie went, "It's so hard being the confident friend."
It is hard. But you
I
know what
know,
though?
it's so funny.
It's hard because I think I'm really independent as well because I'm kind of used to doing most stuff for myself. But
Yeah.
so sometimes you need that reminder. Somebody that we work with had to remind me a couple of weeks ago. If your wheels are about to fall off, you can ask for help. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Um,
I love that now that you and I have this thing where we go, "How are your
how
wheels?
are your wheels?
How are your
Which is
wheels?"
just it's one of those things that nobody. It's like a
No
us
one is gonna
phrase.
understand. If
Okay,
your
there's lots of
wheels are
stuff
falling off.
happening in the
I
chat.
know, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here.
If
So,
you caught myself laughing, if you saw me sniggering earlier, it's because the chat has censored the word "but." Could you
oh.
see it?
Okay, so let's sum up. So
Let's
we had
address.
loads of interaction around, houses, which we'll come back to. Sunny was saying that they just binged all 6 episodes of Arcane and it didn't feel like that much at all at the time. That's the thing about binging, isn't it? You can kind of go, right, I'm going to binge it. When you binge watch it, you realize you've managed to squeeze 6 hours of something into your day and you can't work out how. How did I do that? I'm like, if I devoted 6 hours to that job that I've been meaning to do for ages, it would have got done. But we were talking about asking for help, and Sunny said, asking for help is hard. Please help me learn how to ask for help. I think that's the most courageous you can be, isn't it? Because you're actually going, I'm in a really vulnerable place right now. And I think there's a massive sense of rejection that you get when you go, "Can you help me?" Because someone might say no, you know, at least you got the no. I suppose it's about not being afraid to be the no. Um, Kristen said she asks her husband, but it's very hard to. And this is what's brilliant about this back channel system is that if you're worried about accidental swear words coming through, they can't because it's set to star things out. Uh, and but it was obviously a BUT, but the machine thought it was a BUTT and starred it out.
Brilliant.
So well done. Sunny said, "I'm so afraid of being a burden, but you're totally correct. I'd jump on the opportunity too." You see, actually, there's a pleasure in being asked to help. I love it when people say to me, "Kate, can you help?" I'm like, yeah,
Of course I can.
totes. Of course I can. I will rescue you. I will save you from your burden. I would do anything to stop someone from feeling bad. And it is that thing they talk about kindness. They talk about kindness to, we talked about it last time, the chemistry of kindness, which is, the more you give, the more you get. like even hormonally, you know. Stacey has joined the chat. Hello, Stacey. If you want to join in with the chat, and you can talk to each other as well, which is really
I love that
exciting.
that's happening. There's like this
I
conversation
know there's
that's
a
going on.
whole
We're like,
thing going
okay,
on
go for
over in the
it.
corner. You can talk to each other as well. All you have to do is talk to your Echo device. So you say whatever it is that you say to your Amazon device to make it do things for you. Like, I always say a firm, stern tone. Use the word say and then put your message afterwards, and just speak your message because it will work it out for you. Stacey's saying hello, Kate, and someone else in the chat said thank you for this wonderful podcast. You are so welcome. Also, we can now talk to you in the other platforms as well, can't we? So YouTube and Twitter, we are live on both. And if you just go to backchannel.tv, then you can write little messages to us in the chat as well, and
You can
they'll
like
come up.
text them to
Obvious
us
text,
almost.
yeah. I mean, you've probably been on a few webinars over the last couple of years, and so I imagine that you are used to the fact that if you put something in the chat on your Zoom webinar, it takes a couple of seconds to come through. So if there's a slight delay on us responding, it's not because we've not seen it. It's just because it's either not come through or I'm in the middle of something.
Telling us about a cat.
Absolutely. Right. Dolly news.
It's my
You
favorite
are
part of the
purveyor of
show.
Dolly news.
Yes, it's a good one. Married for 55 years, Dolly.
Ah.
Dolly met her husband when she was 18, or when they
Yep.
were 18, and now they've been married for such a long time, which is funny because you don't hear that much about Dolly's husband. They have quite a private relationship, I feel.
I think so too. Although Jolene was written about.
It's an Other Woman song,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that there are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was which I just thought is lovely. So happy anniversary, Dolly. I meant to look up what like 55 years was, like what gemstone it was or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 55 years.
I think they're only every 10 years, but
What? No,
anyway,
but 25 is. I want to say
yeah.
25
I'm gonna
silver
Google
or
it right now.
diamond. No, diamond, isn't it? Who knows? Someone will know in the chat if you know what 55 years is in terms of what stone or what you celebrate. You know, like 10 years is paper or something like that. I think my husband and I have done 10 years.
I think it might be emerald,
Oh.
which is
Okay,
nice.
well, let's see what comes through in the chat. So Tim and I have been together since we were in our teens.
Yeah,
So this is another thing that means I really feel like Dolly and I would be best friends.
because you both met your husbands
Because we're so
as
positive.
teenagers.
She's obviously the spirit animal / patron saint of everyday positivity because of her way of thinking of things and the way she's just so joyous all the time. And she and I obviously can be best friends. It's like when I discovered that Tim Booth from James, that his wife was called Kate. And my
Wow.
husband's called Tim. And I'm like, oh my God, we've got a conversation starter. When are we becoming best friends?
I like that. Dolly's husband is called Dean. We can give him a name other than just calling him Dolly's
Okay, great.
husband.
Dolly and Dean. I wonder if
Yeah,
their house is called Doldine.
I hope not because that would be rubbish. They
Kristen
met.
confirms that 55 years is emerald.
Thanks, Kristen.
Confirmed.
They met outside a laundromat in Nashville in 1964, which is a good meet cute, isn't it? Outside a laundromat.
I wonder how that happened. Do you reckon one of them dropped something?
They're
Or they were
delicate.
lost?
Or like I'm imagining like a big bag of quarters.
Did you just try and make it saucy?
No. It might I prefer the idea that they had like a big bag of quarters to put in to feed the
Yes.
machines at the laundromat, and they like dropped in there scrambling to pick them all up.
Yeah, quick before they go down the drain.
Yeah, all that kind
And
of
then
thing.
their
Oh,
hands touched. And they looked up at each other and went, ah, like that.
yeah, and the music swells and
Because every single love story is an episode of Saved by the Bell.
yep, absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, there's some really cute conversations about relationships.
I know.
So Sunny says, I hit my 10-year anniversary right in the middle of COVID when my partner and I were isolating. Boo. And he was trying to protect my weak immune system, staying alone in another room just to be safe. Oh, that's so sweet. Did you have like little cups with string on so you could talk to each other through the wall? Do you know that?
So, sorry, I was listening.
Where are you?
I was too
You've
busy
gone
reading
now.
the chat. Sorry. It's
And then Sonny
distracting.
says, "Oh, okay, then this is even cuter. So there's no cups and string involved." There is. Sonny wrote to him 10 letters and hid them around the house in areas I knew he'd find them while going about his day.
That's
I love
great.
that. Beats this morning when I I thought my husband was leaving, like because he was getting ready, had his coat on. Made myself a cup of coffee, drank it, and he looked at me and went, "Are you kidding?" I was like, "Whoops!
Sorry.
I'll make you one. I'll make you one. I'll make
That's
you one. I
funny.
didn't mean to not make you one. I thought you were going." That's so funny. I am gonna leave him notes. I did one year. I did like a little tub with loads of like little pep talks and memories and all that kind of stuff on little tickets, so
Mhm.
he could just put his hand in the tub and pull it out.
That's cute. Yeah. I've
Yeah, it took
seen.
blimmin' ages
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
do. I quite like that, Sonny.
And
I
was
think
it
I
easy to
might
come up
make that.
with loads?
Yeah, it was. My daughter pulled it out the other day and started pulling it out. And I suddenly thought, "Oh, I hope I didn't put anything saucy in there." I don't think I did. I think it was quite PG. But yeah, it was quite funny. Um, oh my goodness, Sonny, that's so funny. No cups and string,
Discord.
but we communicated via Discord.
This is the 2020. This is the 2021 version of Cups and String.
Cup cord.
Yeah. Sure. That's what you want to call it.
Oh, my son's on Discord all the time. But it's good because he talks to his friend who's in America. It's
There you go.
lovely. And Kristen, you were saying something a minute ago. 23 years on Halloween with my hubby.
Halloween.
I know. So I've been with Tim for 23 years, I think. 94, I think we got together. 26 years.
Oh my
27.
goodness. That's longer than I've been alive.
Can you see the clang of the great big penny dropping? I
Yep.
suppose I better be nice to him because I want another 27 years at least out of him.
At least.
About making that coffee every morning.
Mhm.
Are you kidding?
I'm
I do
kidding.
that. Are you kidding?
It's
We've
funny.
been enjoying Succession though. That's been our thing at the moment. Our little
That's
binge
good.
is to sit and watch.
I'm going to do a shout out for people who have to make their own coffee, like me.
Oh yeah.
I know. Boo-hoo.
So he should be grateful that he has someone to say, "Are you
Exactly.
kidding?" to, which makes me laugh.
Cup cord. Sonny's having cup
Cord.
cord. I think it's going to catch on.
I do too. Let's have a look at some more of the good news. So, something happened this week. Well, this weekend, I definitely had that moment of, "Oh, I am a very capable human being." Happy happened when I fixed the table my son broke, and I changed my toilet seat.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And yesterday was National Clean Your Toilet Day or something like that, or National Toilet. No, I think it's International Toilet Day at the end of the week. It's
That's
Clean Out Your Fridge
amazing.
Day on Monday.
My mum has a calendar of toilets around the world.
What? So
Yep.
tell me about the toilets around the world. Are we going
So
to go scatological here, or is it going to be maintain some level of dignity?
I don't know. Let's find out. So it's like a month. It's like a 12-page calendar. It's like one a month, and every month has a
Standard
picture.
calendar. It's
Yeah.
standard calendar.
It's got 12 months in it. Not one of these newfangled 14-month
It's
calendars.
not got some toilet club calendar extra
No.
month. No.
And
Okay.
every month has just a picture of a different toilet from around the world. So it might be like one in the outback, it might be one up a mountain, it might be one top of a skyscraper.
Oh, okay. So odd locations.
Yeah, sure. It's because my mum's always looking, because she's a lady in her 50s. She's always
Yes.
looking for she always wants to know where the nearest toilet is. So, toilet calendar.
I'm one of those ladies as well. I'm not in my 50s,
No, you're
but
not.
many women will understand knowing where the toilet is very important.
Look, it's an important thing.
It's a very important thing, and quite frankly, if at the age of 42 I decide to climb the Alps, I would like to know where the nearest toilet is.
Exactly. It's important information.
So Sunny is on my side here. changing the toilet seat is an ordeal. You don't realise how dirty it gets under those fasteners.
Yeah.
I know, right? I wore gloves. I definitely had a pair of gloves to hand. It
Mhm.
was very good. Yeah. Sorry, I thought there was more there. There's loads going on. Plumbing for the win, says Kristen. It wasn't, I can't claim plumbing, but I can claim changing a loo seat. I did have that moment where I messaged someone and went, can you change just toilet seats? And then actually looked it up on the internet and went, oh, yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
And that's when you know you're really adulting. That's what the kids say, isn't it? That's when you're adulting, when you do things like change a toilet seat.
That's a proper
And,
like that's a grown-up job.
and you'd have thought that if you can change a toilet seat, the possibilities for your bathroom are endless, right? No. Lots of white toilet seats out there.
Yeah. Well, did you
Not
want like a
many.
jazzy one with like
Yeah.
fish in it,
Yeah.
or like not
I remember one time when I was working for a radio station, I had to sort out a load of prizes, and I was in the local mall, and one of those tat shops was selling glittery gold toilet seats,
Yeah, very
which
classy.
I bought with like some money out of the petty cash. Got Robbie Williams to sign it.
Of course you did.
Gave it away as a prize.
I'm sure he's done weirder things.
Robbie Williams with from Take That. That was one of my most genius moments. What can we give away for a tenner? Robbie Williams toilet seat. To be fair, I don't think I'd have put it on now, but I would have these days. I would have provided a YouTube video on how to change a toilet seat because it is an ordeal. As
Was it
Sunny
difficult?
said. Sorry.
Was it difficult?
The difficult bit is lining it up and getting. I can't believe I'm having this conversation. The actual difficult bit is the is the bit where you're trying to get the nut. No, you're trying to get the washer, the bung, and the other washer on without it all falling down. So then you can get the nut on to tighten it up. That was
Okay.
the hardest bit.
I'm gonna ask you a question and you don't have to answer it if you don't want.
Okay, all right. This is always scary when you start questions like this.
Did you drop anything in the toilet?
No, I did not drop anything in the toilet.
Okay, I think I would.
No, because the fastener for the toilet seat is actually behind the toilet.
Yeah, but still, I'm a bit clumsy and useless. So.
But yeah, you're lying on the floor, and I always think, gosh, if I was so at one point when I I've been working in full-time work, I had a baby, and I sat across from my friend and went, I think I'm going to become a plumber. I think I can make loads of money as a plumber.
That's a good one.
And I really genuinely think there's something about those jobs, like plumbing, building, carpentry. There's just something so wonderful about them. They're so useful. They're such useful jobs. Anyway, the thing that got me about this was that I was like, gosh, so my toilet is quite close to the wall. But I was like, no, there'll be room for a human to get down behind that because you've got to get down behind and under because a human has made this. So he has to or she has to have put it in. So, but as a plumber, you must spend a lot of time in very closed situations and like have to be bent up
awkward
like this
positions.
and like hoping you don't get wet underneath it all. Sunny says, I opted for a fun colours toilet seat because my backside deserves to be pampered. I mean, frankly, if you can't be happy on the toilet, where can you be happy?
Exactly. Come on. I'd quite like someone to see if I'd quite like to know if the chat allows you to say the word bum. Can someone say I'm gonna say bum, please? Because I just want to know if it'll work. Or if it'll star it out. I promise you won't get in trouble.
Here we go. There's going to be
I hope so. I hope to see a lot of bums come through on the chat.
Bum on its way.
You talked about those jobs that are like rewarding, like being a plumber or a mechanic or whatever.
Yeah.
If my whole like shtick falls through, if my business collapses and I lose all my clients and everything fails, I think I'm going to become a butcher.
I met someone recently who is a butcher, and I was like quite intrigued.
It's start it out.
I know.
You can't say bum.
I know.
I'm
no
sorry.
bum.
Sorry for
maybe I hope it's starring me out as I say it. Bum.
Okay, we started this whole conversation because we had a news story, and now it's like 7 minutes to 3.
Can you? How? Oh, Christina.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Please don't tell anybody that I got everybody to say bum.
My favourite bit is that Kristen decided to spell it.
To spell it out.
Girl, you have got the, like, look at that. I want Kristen in an escape room
That's
with me,
problem
quite
solving. That
frankly.
is.
Oh, I love that. And then Sunny's put a peach. I was like, how do you emoji a peach? But I'm figuring that Sunny is in
On the chat on their
on a chit
phone.
chat on a typey type backchannel.tv. How exciting.
A typey
So the
type is
news
for the
the
listener.
news story that spurred this on is that people are reusing phone boxes.
You
When
could make one into a toilet.
you could. You could. So that me and Kristen, when we're up Everest, we want a phone booth that is on Everest with a toilet in it. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Amazing. Okay, Kate, can you give me a really quick rundown of all of the things that people have revamped these? Do you have it in front of you, or do you want me to do it?
Oh no, I thought you were going to ask me for a summary of the whole show.
Oh no, I was going to ask you for
No,
a
I can
summary
do
of
I
what
can do
people have
this. I can
done
do
with
this.
phone
It's
boxes.
it's a brilliant it's a brilliant it's a brilliant exercise. So basically, mobile phones entered the world. In the UK, there's loads of these little red phone boxes everywhere, and they're like our post boxes, right? So it's kind of or the red buses in London. It's part of our identity, really.
Mhm.
So instead of getting rid of them, people kind of adopted them. They did this whole adoption thing. And people adopted them and turned them into all sorts of things. So some of them are like free libraries. So people put shelves in them. And if you're out walking and like I've seen one like in Yorkshire, and you can like pull open the door and you know, you're on a hill and you there's a like a little country road where there's a phone box, open it up and boom, you got a book you can take. It's
Take a
like one
book,
of
leave a
those free
book.
spot libraries. My favourite one was that there's a disco.
Yeah.
Someone's made like a little nightclub out of one.
The
And
UK
there was
smallest
one more.
nightclub.
There was one more. There's one more. There's one more. I gotta remember it. It's in front of me here.
That's the first
Mini
one.
medical centers. So the defibrillators. They put defibrillators in them, which is such a good idea, I think, because defibrillators really do save lives. You know, in those moments where you need something like that. So, Sonny says Doctor Who is about to have a bad time if we start using phone booths as toilets. I think isn't that a police box rather than a phone booth?
Yeah, but they're defunct now. They're like properly defunct.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very old, aren't they? And blue. Everything else is red. Like the post boxes are red, the buses are red, the phone boxes are red. They used to have like glass ones as well when it got a bit new age and then mobile phones got in the way. So yeah, but I just love this idea that, you know, you can have things available to you and then make them you. And it's things like the fact that your mum has a calendar of loos around the world, toilets around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was Sunny said that they have coloured loo seats
Yeah,
because mum deserves a pamper.
of course.
Those sorts of things are proper sparkles of joy. Like they really are good for making like your brain go ooh and get excited. So I'm all for that little bit of silly and that little
It's
bit of
good.
fun and that
And
little
it's
bit of changing a loose seat and trying to keep the nuts and bolts on at the back.
yeah. And reusing stuff, reusing your phone boxes, upcycling them. Do you know about
Yeah,
upcycling?
absolutely.
I don't really love it as a
Just
word,
that
but I
lovely
like the concept.
that satisfaction that something hasn't gone to waste, it's got a new use.
I'm
Imagine like if I was a plumber, I'd have a new use and I'd feel good.
We're not done with your old use. Yeah, okay. We still need
No,
to
I
do
know.
that before you become a plumber.
We'll continue on this route until we get to plumber. I've always got I can always be a plumber.
Okay.
And Stacey says the bus is in yellow in the US. Like to me, that says America when you see the school buses on the
Oh
telly.
yeah.
In
I've been
yellow.
in one of those. That is.
Yeah. What would you turn a bus into? Could you do a party bus, library bus,
I do a podcast
vinyl
bus
bus,
or a kitchen bus,
kitchen bus?
restaurant
Brilliant.
bus. I'd have
Absolutely brilliant.
like a massive like hatch on the front, and I'd
Yeah.
serve tacos out of it.
Yeah, brilliant.
With my
Brilliant.
difference.
Well, I think our time is up, isn't it?
It is.
We've got a lot out of today. I'm glad that Dolly and Dean are together, that they don't
Yeah.
have a house called Doldine. In America, there are no houses with names like Ordell, like my grandparents' in-laws. We've learned that silly things make us happy, and that you can't say bum to Backchannel.
If anybody asks, I did not encourage you to say that. Okay.
Okay, everyone, we're in this together, just between you and me, you and us.
Yeah.
Fine.
Thanks.
Who's up next?
Up next is the Anthony Davis Show in
Fantastic.
about an hour.
Brilliant.
And
So
after,
make sure you're back here.
yes, and immediately after that is Your Pal Hal with Hal Rudnick. And then Haley and Allison will be back tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. EST.
And make sure you listen to Everyday Positivity tomorrow, wherever you get your
Yes.
podcasts and on your Amazon Flash briefings. And you can listen and be part of our Backchannel show again on Thursday.
Yes, at the
9
same time
a.m.
on
Eastern
Thursday.
time. Yeah, we'll see you then.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kate.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Stacey and Sunny and Kristen and everybody who was in the chat today. It's so much more fun when you're here with me.
Yes.